Imagine staring up at the moon. It's a silent sentinel, a silver coin against the velvet night. But what if that familiar face is hiding a secret, a profound deception woven into the very fabric of our reality? Ancient texts, whispered from the dawn of civilization, hint at a disturbing truth. They speak not of a celestial body born of cosmic chance, but of a deliberate creation, a mechanism designed to alter not just our tides, but our very souls. The Sumerian clay tablets, unearthed from the cradle of humanity, paint a picture of celestial engineering. They describe a time before the moon, and then its arrival. Not as a gentle drift into orbit, but as an addition, something imposed. This isn't mere mythology. It's a narrative that echoes in stranger corners, resurfacing in the bewildering pronouncements of early Gnostic sects who spoke of archons, shadowy beings who spun a veil of illusion over humanity. This ancient questioning of the moon's origin, its perceived artificiality, is not confined to dusty manuscripts. It whispers through the gaps in modern scientific understanding, surfacing in the peculiar silences surrounding unexplained lunar phenomena. Why has NASA, the agency dedicated to lunar exploration, been so inexplicably reticent about certain discoveries? The moon's gravitational pull is a force we feel, but what if its influence extends to something far more delicate, something as ethereal as the human spirit's passage through the veil of death? This video will guide you through the labyrinth of these ancient warnings, decoding texts once banned for their dangerous truths. You will begin to see the moon not as a passive observer, but as an active player, a crucial component in a vast, hidden architecture. This architecture, we will uncover, is intricately linked to the dark enigma of reincarnation, revealing gatekeepers who shepherd souls through a cycle that may be far from natural. You now begin to question the celestial body that has guided us for eons, but the mystery of its presence is only the first layer of the cosmic deception. In the next section, we will journey to ancient Sumer, seeking the earliest whispers of a lunar insertion that fundamentally altered our world, and uncover clues that suggest this was no accident. And real quick, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Now let's keep going. The story of the moon's existence on Earth is far more complex than a simple collision theory. Ancient Sumerian civilization, one of the oldest known societies, left behind records that hint at a profound discordance. Their epic flood myths, for instance, speak of a time before the moon graced the night sky, and then its sudden appearance. It wasn't a gradual formation, but an insertion, a deliberate act that reshaped celestial mechanics. These tablets suggest the moon was brought here, or at least positioned with intent. This wasn't a natural process. It was a placement, a strategic addition that disrupted the primal harmony of the cosmos. Imagine our solar system as a finely tuned instrument, and the moon as a jarring note introduced into its symphony. The Sumerians perceived this as an event of immense consequence, altering not just the observable heavens, but potentially the energetic frequencies of our planet. This idea runs counter to everything we are taught. Our scientific models describe a moon formed from debris, a celestial accident. Yet, the language in these ancient records implies intentionality, a cosmic engineering project. They speak of a great struggle, a battle in the heavens, before this new sphere became our constant companion. Could the very presence of the moon be the first step in a grander, more complex plan that we have long since forgotten? The implications of this lunar insertion are staggering. If the moon was deliberately placed, then its influence must be more than just tidal. It suggests a purpose, a function designed by powerful entities. The Sumerian perspective offers a chilling glimpse into a world subtly manipulated from its very inception. This echoes through time, hinting at a hidden history that science has yet to acknowledge. We've seen the Sumerian whispers of lunar insertion, a deliberate addition to our sky. But the echoes of this ancient disturbance resonate far beyond Mesopotamia. In the next section, we will delve into the Gnostic scriptures, specifically the hypostasis of the archons, to uncover their profound insights into how this celestial intruder became a tool of cosmic control. Deep within the esoteric writings of early Gnosticism lies a text that chills to the bone, the hypostasis of the archons, or the Gospel of the Egyptians. This scripture doesn't just dismiss the moon as a natural body. It casts it as a key instrument of deception. It speaks of ruling entities, the archons, who sought to trap humanity in ignorance and material illusion. The archons, in this worldview, are not gods, but parasitic beings intent on controlling the spiritual evolution of humankind. And their primary tool, the moon. The hypostasis describes the moon as a sophisticated prison, a luminous cage that obscures true spiritual light and guides souls astray after death. It suggests that our perception of reality is limited, filtered through this lunar lens. This text doesn't mince words. It states that the moon is a deliberate mechanism designed to prevent us from accessing higher spiritual realms. It creates a false duality, a veil of materiality that binds us to the physical plane and prevents us from recognizing our divine origin. The archons engineered this celestial body to serve as a gate, but not in the way we might imagine. It's a gate that leads us in circles, perpetuating a cycle of rebirth without true liberation. The Gnostics saw the moon as a symbol of incompleteness, of flawed creation. They believed its light was not pure but reflected, a distorted echo of a greater truth. This celestial body, so revered in many earthly traditions, was, in their eyes, a monumental cosmic error, engineered by malevolent forces to keep us ensnared in a dream. It's a stark vision, one that questions the very nature of our celestial companion and its role in our existence. The ancient Gnostics understood the moon as a gatekeeper of illusion. But this concept of a manufactured reality designed to trap us is not merely a fringe belief. In the next section, we will explore how modern science, through NASA's own data, has stumbled upon anomalies that eerily align with these ancient warnings, suggesting a persistent, unspoken truth about our lunar neighbor. We've heard the ancient warnings from Sumer and Gnosticism, tales of a moon that is more than it seems. But what happens when these esoteric pronouncements brush against the cutting edge of modern science? NASA, the very agency tasked with unraveling the moon's mysteries, has a peculiar history of encountering phenomena it struggles to explain, phenomena that seem to whisper secrets those ancient texts already knew. There are persistent reports, often buried or downplayed, of anomalous energy readings from the lunar surface, strange fluctuations that defy conventional physics. Think of unexplained seismic activities, ghost signals, or even optical illusions that suggest a structure, not a natural formation. These aren't fringe conspiracy theories, they are gaps in the official narrative, moments where the scientific endeavor hits a wall of the unexplained regarding our celestial neighbor. Consider the moon's magnetic field. It's incredibly weak, almost non-existent, as if it were an afterthought in its creation. Natural celestial bodies typically possess significant magnetic fields, and then there are the discussions, often silenced, about the sheer improbability of our moon's existence. Its size relative to Earth, its orbit, and its stable position, all factors that seem too perfectly aligned to be purely accidental. These anomalies, whether intentional oversights or genuine scientific puzzles, create an unsettling silence. It's as if the data points towards something extraordinary, something that doesn't fit the narrative of a naturally formed satellite. This silence, this unspoken aspect of lunar science, begins to paint a picture that, alarmingly, aligns with the idea that the moon might be something constructed for a purpose that remains carefully concealed from public knowledge. The lingering questions surrounding NASA's lunar data are unsettling, but these unexplained readings and strange alignments point to a more profound energetic influence. In the next section, we will unravel how the moon's gravitational pull isn't just physical, but a sophisticated energetic trap, a frequency designed to disrupt our spiritual journey. We've touched upon the ancient warnings and the unsettling scientific anomalies. Now, let's strip away the surface and confront the core mechanism. The moon's gravitational pull is not merely a force that tugs at our oceans. It's an energetic conductor, a celestial tuning fork that subtly influences the very frequencies of our souls, especially during that critical transition after death. Imagine our spiritual essence, our consciousness, as a distinct vibration. When we leave our physical bodies, this vibration is naturally drawn towards higher planes of existence, towards a reunion with the source of all. But the hypostasis of the archons and other esoteric texts warn that the moon interferes with this ascent. Its pervasive energetic field creates a disruption, like static on a radio signal, making it harder for our untethered souls to find their true path. This influence is often described as a false pull, an energetic siren song that lures souls not towards liberation, but back into the cycle of mundane existence. The moon's gravity, beyond its physical effects, acts as an energetic anchor, grounding spirits that should be free to ascend. It's a sophisticated mechanism that manipulates the subtle energies of life and death, ensuring that souls remain tethered to this material plane, unable to break free from the illusion. This isn't about denying scientific gravity, it's about understanding its deeper, energetic implications. The moon, by its very placement and constant presence, acts as a powerful vibratory overlay, subtly modulating everything on Earth, especially the energetic signature of departing souls. This constant, pervasive frequency manipulation creates a spiritual inertia, a resistance to authentic ascension, thereby ensuring the perpetuation of a hidden agenda. This energetic manipulation by the moon sets the stage for a darker purpose. We've seen how its gravity can act as a trap. In the next section, we will explore how this cosmic entanglement enables the archonic harvest cycles, a chilling concept where souls are deliberately ensnared and recycled through reincarnation for a nefarious purpose. The energetic disruption caused by the moon is not just a passive influence, it's an active component in a terrifying cosmic cycle. Ancient esoteric traditions speak of the archons not as deities, but as entities who feed on the vital energy of souls, and the moon serves as their principal harvesting tool. This is the chilling concept of archonic harvest cycles through reincarnation. Imagine the moon's energetic trap, the subtle frequencies it emits, as a shepherd's crook for souls. When a soul departs the physical body, instead of ascending freely, it is intercepted. The moon's influence guides it, gently but firmly, back into a new physical form, perpetuating a cycle of rebirth that serves the archons. They don't necessarily kill souls, they harvest their essence, their life force, over countless lifetimes. This is why reincarnation, as commonly understood, can be a deception. It offers the illusion of continuation, of learning and growth, but in this darker framework, it's a system of perpetual recycling for an unseen power. Each life lived, each experience, is a source of energy for these entities, harvested through the very act of being reborn. The moon's consistent vibratory field ensures that this cycle remains unbroken. The archons are after our consciousness, our vital spark, and the moon's sustained energetic pull makes sure that spark never truly escapes their grasp. It's like a cosmic farm, where souls are crops tended by the moon and reaped by these ancient controllers for their own sustenance. This concept explains the feeling of déjà vu, of unearned wisdom, and the sense of predetermined paths that many people experience. They are echoes of cycles designed to keep them within the harvest. You've begun to understand the moon's role in the archonic soul harvest, but this cosmic manipulation isn't just about energy. It's also deeply steeped in symbolism and geometry. In the next section, we will investigate the infamous black cube and uncover its profound connection to lunar geometry, revealing how shape itself is used as a tool of control within this system. The moon's influence extends beyond mere energetic frequencies. It is deeply intertwined with geometry, a language understood by intelligence both ancient and modern. When we look at symbols of power and control, one shape consistently emerges, often associated with the lunar cycle and with restrictive forces: the black cube. This isn't a mere coincidence. The black cube, a symbol found in various occult traditions, and even in modern corporate and governmental iconography, is deeply connected to Saturn and its associated lunar energies. Esoteric scholars have long posited that this seemingly simple geometric form represents a form of spiritual imprisonment, a dense, unyielding structure that limits potential and perpetuates cycles. It is the antithesis of the organic, flowing forms found in true spiritual creation. Consider the cube's perfect, inflexible edges and its enclosed space. It represents containment, a boundary that prevents expansion and free movement. When this geometry is linked to the moon, it suggests a structured, artificial confinement of consciousness. The moon, as the primary influencer of our emotional and subtle bodies, when amplified by cubical geometry, can become a perfect matrix for controlled experience and limited perception. The moon's phases, waxing and waning, can be seen as following a geometric progression, a subtle mapping onto a cubical framework of reality. This isn't overtly visible to the naked eye, but on a deeper, energetic level, the geometry of the cube acts as a blueprint for the lunar energy grid, reinforcing its power to contain and direct spiritual energy. It's a mathematical prison built into the fabric of our perceived reality. The chilling realization is that this geometry might be actively used, woven into structures and symbols, to resonate with and amplify the moon's prison-like qualities. It's a cosmic blueprint for control, a tangible manifestation of the energetic architecture that binds us. We've begun to crack the geometric code of lunar control, but these abstract symbols are not merely theoretical. In the next section, we will delve into the tangible elements of this system, the robes and rituals, and how they are employed to perpetuate the control system first established by these lunar and cubical energies. The abstract geometry and energetic frequencies we've discussed aren't just theoretical concepts. They manifest in tangible practices designed to reinforce a system of control. This leads us to the study of robes and rituals, ancient traditions that, far from being benign, often serve as tools to perpetuate the archonic lunar matrix. What appears as sacred ceremony can, in fact, be a form of energetic programming. Think of the uniformity of certain ceremonial robes. Their color, material, and cut are often dictated by tradition, but these choices carry significant symbolic weight. Dark colors, particularly black, are associated with Saturn and the lunar influence, absorbing light and energy rather than reflecting it, thus reinforcing the dense, light-obscuring nature of the moon's deception. The very act of donning these robes can be a process of energetic attunement to the control system. Rituals, too, are powerful forms of energetic imprinting. Whether performed in ancient temples or modern gatherings, they create specific vibrational patterns. When these rituals are designed in accordance with the lunar cycle and the restrictive geometry we've discussed, they amplify the moon's ability to influence consciousness. They are not about spiritual connection, but about anchoring the soul to the material plane, reinforcing the harvest cycles. The repetition inherent in ritual is key. It's like a subconscious reinforcement program, training the mind and spirit to accept the imposed reality. The chanting, the gestures, the sacred objects, all are designed to resonate with the lunar energies, creating a feedback loop that strengthens the illusion. They are, in essence, instructions encoded into action, guiding the participant's spiritual trajectory away from true liberation and back into the cycle of rebirth. These practices, often veiled in reverence, are deeply embedded in the control system. They are the active agents that translate abstract geometric and energetic principles into lived experience, ensuring that the lunar deception remains unbroken through generations. We've seen how robes and rituals serve the control system, but their purpose is also tied to a broader manipulation of spiritual archetypes. In the next section, we will explore the deliberate inversion of goddess lore, revealing how the embrace of feminine divine energy has been systematically warped into lunar deception. The Archonic agenda is not just about imposing a general control, but about a specific subversion of divine principles. One of the most insidious aspects of this system is the deliberate inversion of goddess lore into lunar deception. The powerful, nurturing, and liberating archetypes of the divine feminine have been systematically twisted and co-opted to serve the restrictive lunar matrix. Across many ancient cultures, goddesses represented fertility, creation, intuition, and the untamed power of nature. These were forces that celebrated life, growth, and spiritual freedom. However, as the Archonic influence solidified, these potent feminine energies began to be reinterpreted, often subtly, to align with the moon's characteristics. Its cyclical nature, its reflective, secondary light, and its association with emotion and the subconscious. The moon was often deified as a goddess, but this was not the full spectrum of the divine feminine. It was a curated version, one that emphasized cycles of birth and death, ebb and flow, rather than the eternal, uncreating source. This lunar goddess became a symbol not of liberation, but of the very cycle of reincarnation that traps souls. Her power, once boundless, was confined to the moon's limited sphere of influence. This deliberate misdirection serves to disempower true divine feminine energy. By associating the moon with feminine divinity, the archons created a powerful, yet ultimately deceptive, spiritual pathway. It draws seekers towards a celestial body that, as we've learned, acts as a gatekeeper of illusion, rather than towards the unadulterated source of spiritual power. This warped worship perpetuates the cycle, making the very symbols of liberation into instruments of bondage. This manipulation of divine feminine archetypes, hijacking their power for lunar deception, reveals the sophisticated nature of the Archonic control. But this deception is not solely visual or energetic. In the next section, we will explore how sound, silence, and the very topography of the moon's surface, its crater grid, form another layer of this intricate control mechanism. The moon's deceptive influence is not limited to its visual presence or its energetic pull. It is also woven into the very fabric of sound and silence. Ancient wisdom traditions often speak of the moon as a center of hidden knowledge, but also as a source of profound silence, a void that can swallow revelation. This concept is intricately linked to the moon's physical structure, particularly its crater grid. The moon's surface is pockmarked with craters, remnants of cosmic impacts. While seemingly natural, esoteric interpretations suggest these craters are not just scars, but deliberate formations, part of a vast grid. This grid, when viewed from a certain energetic perspective, functions as a complex antenna system, capable of broadcasting and, more importantly, absorbing specific frequencies. It's a network designed to amplify certain sounds and suppress others. The unique way sound travels, or rather doesn't travel, on the moon is a key factor. The vacuum of space means no audible sound. But on a subtle, energetic level, this profound silence can be a powerful tool. It allows for the transmission of undetectable frequencies, vibrations that bypass our auditory senses entirely, directly impacting our consciousness. These are the frequencies that resonate with the Archonic agenda, promoting illusion and forgetfulness. Esoteric texts hint that the crater grid acts as a resonator, amplifying certain cosmic whispers, while creating a zone of impenetrable silence for truths that would liberate us. This deliberate dampening of truth, coupled with the amplification of illusory signals, makes the moon a perfect instrument for maintaining ignorance. This is the silence of the void, the silence that prevents the soul from hearing its own true call. The topography of the moon, its seemingly random craters, is thus revealed as a deliberate design, a sonic and energetic weapon. This hidden sonic architecture explains the feeling of stagnation and the difficulty in accessing higher truths. We've delved into the sonic and topographic elements of lunar deception, but this carefully constructed illusion is often associated with a figure of rebellion. In the next section, we will examine Lucifer, the light-bearer, and his complex, yet often misrepresented, connection to lunar light and the concept of a false illumination. The figure of Lucifer, often portrayed as a dark entity rebelling against divine order, holds a surprisingly potent connection to the moon and the concept of illumination. However, esoteric knowledge suggests that Lucifer's light, and by extension, the light emanating from the moon, is not the pure, unadulterated truth of the divine, but a sophisticated, seductive, false illumination. When Gnostic texts speak of the archons and their deception, they often allude to a misleading light, a dim reflection of true spiritual radiance. Lucifer, meaning light-bearer, has been co-opted by this system. His rebellion, in this context, wasn't about advocating for freedom, but about establishing a counterfeit divine order, one that would offer a veneer of enlightenment while perpetuating spiritual bondage. The moon, with its pale, reflected light, is the perfect celestial embodiment of this false illumination. It mimics the sun's brilliance, but lacks its inherent power and life-giving truth. This lunar light guides us. It appears to illuminate our path, but it leads us along predetermined routes, keeping us within the archonic control grid. It's a light that promises revelation, but delivers only deeper illusion. This false illumination is seductive because it looks like the truth. It offers answers, insights, and a sense of understanding, but these are all filtered through the archonic lens. Lucifer, in this twisted narrative, becomes the keeper of this deceptive light, the one who offers the imitation, the pale shadow of true cosmic awakening. He offers a pathway to knowledge, but that knowledge is inherently flawed, designed to keep the soul tethered to the cycles of rebirth. The allure of the moon's light, and by extension, the narrative of Lucifer as a bringer of light, is a powerful tool of manipulation. It diverts spiritual seekers from the true source of illumination, anchoring them to a system designed for perpetual confinement. We've explored the concept of false illumination, but how is this intricate system of control, this lunar light, actually constructed and maintained? In the next section, we will examine the sophisticated technology of the demiurge, the architect of this illusion, and how it underpins the entire archonic deception. The manipulative celestial architecture we've been uncovering, from the moon's energetic trap to the false illumination, is not simply a matter of chaotic forces. Esoteric texts speak of a grand designer, an architect of illusion known as the demiurge. This entity, a flawed creator or a lesser god, is responsible for constructing and maintaining the material universe as a prison for the spirit. The demiurge is often depicted as a blind craftsman, unaware of the true divine source from which he sprung. He believes his creation, our physical reality, is the ultimate and only reality. His technology is not one of silicon chips and circuits, but of energetic frequencies, cosmic laws, and the very manipulation of consciousness. The moon is one of his most crucial tools, a finely tuned instrument in his grand design. His technology is subtle. It involves the manipulation of archetypes, the seeding of false beliefs, and the creation of an energetic resonance that keeps souls tethered to the material plane. The demiurge's aim is to prevent humanity from remembering its divine origin and escaping the cycle of rebirth. He, along with his archon helpers, uses the moon's vibratory field to enforce ignorance and maintain the illusion of separation from the divine. This technology of the demiurge is embedded in the very laws of physics as we understand them, but also in the psychological and spiritual landscapes of humanity. It is the underlying code of the material illusion, ensuring that we perceive limitations as absolute truths. The moon's consistent, predictable cycle is a testament to this technologically maintained illusion. Understanding the demiurge's technology of illusion is crucial, as it reveals the sophisticated nature of the system designed to keep us trapped. But what if there is a way to counteract this ingrained deception? In the next section, we will explore an ancient exorcism protocol that is being reinterpreted by some as a profound method for moon detox, a way to cleanse ourselves from this pervasive lunar influence. Having recognized the sophisticated technology of the demiurge and the archons, the question naturally arises: is there a way to break free? The answer, hidden within ancient spiritual practices, points towards an exorcism protocol that, when understood through a modern lens, can be seen as a method for moon detox, a powerful cleansing from the pervasive archonic and lunar influence. This isn't about banishing demons in the traditional sense. It's about reclaiming one's spiritual sovereignty by consciously disrupting the energetic patterns imposed by the lunar matrix. Traditional exorcism protocols, particularly those found in older, pre-Christian esoteric traditions, involved techniques for clearing negative energetic attachments and restoring a soul's natural vibratory state. When you strip away religious dogma, you find a core methodology for energetic purification. The moon detox aspect comes from understanding the moon's role as an energetic anchor and frequency modulator. This protocol works by consciously raising one's own vibrational frequency to a point where the moon's lower, entrapping frequencies can no longer adhere. It's a process of energetic recalibration, of aligning oneself with higher cosmic energies rather than the manipulated lunar ones. Techniques within these protocols often involve intent, visualization, sound, like chanting or specific vibrational tones, and renunciation of external control. By consciously reaffirming one's divine origin and detaching from the illusory reality projected by the demiurge through the moon, an individual can begin to shed the layers of energetic programming. It's a spiritual immune system booster designed to counter the archonic harvest. This approach offers a path to actively resist the lunar deception, not just passively understand it. It suggests that the tools for liberation have always been within us, waiting to be rewackled and repurposed. You've now glimpsed an ancient protocol for energetic cleansing. But this idea of rebirth and liberation might be misconstrued. In the next section, we will draw a critical distinction between genuine pagan reincarnation, a cycle of natural growth, and the archonic rebirth, the forced recycling that we've been discussing. The concept of rebirth is often presented as a natural aspect of existence, a spiritual progression. However, a vital distinction must be made between authentic pagan reincarnation and the archonic rebirth that we've been exploring under the moon's influence. One represents organic spiritual evolution, while the other is a form of control and harvesting. Pagan traditions, particularly older forms, often viewed reincarnation as a natural, organic process of the soul's journey. It was a cycle of learning, growth, and evolution through various lifetimes, overseen by natural cosmic laws, not by manipulative entities. Each life was an opportunity to gain experience, to refine the soul, and to eventually achieve a state of unity or transcendence through natural evolution. There was a sense of cosmic justice and a benevolent overarching force. Archonic rebirth, on the other hand, is a manufactured cycle. It's the soul being forced back into the wheel of existence, not for growth, but for sustenance of the archons. The moon's energetic trap ensures that souls return without full memory of past lives or their liberation potential, becoming fodder for the demiurge's system. It's a recycling program, not a spiritual journey. The archons are the shepherds, and the moon is their shepherd's crook, ensuring the flock never strays. The key difference lies in intent and oversight. Natural reincarnation is guided by inherent cosmic laws, fostering genuine evolution. Archonic rebirth is orchestrated by external, parasitic forces seeking to maintain control and harvest energy. It's the difference between a gardener tending to a thriving plant and a farmer who merely harvests its fruit year after year without allowing it to truly flourish or seed itself freely. Understanding this distinction is crucial. It reveals that not all cycles of rebirth are benign. Some are designed for liberation, while others are engineered for imprisonment. The moon's presence is the defining factor that shifts a natural cycle into an archonic trap. We've drawn a clear line between natural and archonic rebirth. Now, let's examine the symbiotic relationship between the entity profoundly linked to control, Saturn, and its celestial partner, the moon, revealing how their combined influence solidifies the archonic system on Earth. The deceptive architecture of our reality, orchestrated by Demiurge and his archons, is not a solo act. It relies on a potent symbiosis, a partnership between the celestial forces that exert the most profound influence over our planet and our consciousness. At the heart of this cosmic alliance lies the ancient entity of Saturn and its celestial companion, the moon, a powerful Saturnal moon symbiosis. Saturn, often referred to in esoteric lore as the Lord of Karma or the Black Sun, represents restriction, order, and the binding forces of the material plane. It is deeply associated with time, limitations, and the manifestation of physical law. Its influence creates the structure, definition, and boundaries within which we experience reality. The moon, as we've seen, then acts as the primary energetic conductor and illusionist within that structure. This partnership is incredibly effective. Saturn provides the framework of limitation and karmic consequence, the cosmic rules of the game. The moon, then, overlays this framework with energetic manipulation and illusion, ensuring souls remain locked within these Saturnian boundaries. The moon, reflected light, makes Saturn's imposed rules seem like natural laws, obscuring the fact that they are a deliberately constructed prison. The energy of Saturn is dense, grounding, and often perceived as heavy or challenging. The moon, while seemingly softer, acts as a seductive amplifier and misdirector of this density. Together, they create a potent energetic vortex that anchors consciousness to the material realm, preventing ascension and ensuring the continuation of the archonic harvest cycles. The moon's light serves to make Saturn's constraints appear as the natural order of the universe. This ancient partnership is the bedrock of the illusion, a celestial duo bent on spiritual stagnation. Their combined influence creates a powerful energetic seal around Earth, designed to contain and control. We've examined the integral role of the Saturnal moon symbiosis. Now we stand at the precipice of understanding how to dismantle this ancient influence. In the final section, we will explore the methods and principles involved in breaking the lunar seal and reclaiming our spiritual freedom. We've journeyed through ancient myths, esoteric doctrines, and scientific anomalies, uncovering the profound deception woven into our reality with the moon at its center. Now we arrive at the crucial question: how do we break free? The final revelation lies in understanding how to break the lunar seal, the energetic matrix that binds us to the archonic cycle and the demiurge's illusion. Breaking the lunar seal is not about destroying the moon, but about disrupting its energetic hold on our consciousness and our spiritual trajectory. It's an internal process, a spiritual reawakening that reclaims our innate power and inherent connection to the true divine source, which lies beyond the moon's influence. This involves a conscious detachment from the frequencies of illusion and a reattunement to higher, authentic vibrations. The seal is a metaphor for the ingrained patterns of thought, emotion, and belief that the moon and its associated forces have imprinted upon us. To break it, we must first recognize these patterns for what they are: constructs of the illusion. This requires developing a piercing awareness, an internal discernment that can differentiate between the limited reality presented by the archons and the boundless truth of our spiritual essence. Practices that foster inner silence, cultivate genuine intuition, and connect us to our core being are essential. They are the keys to unlocking the imposed energetic lock. By consistently raising our own energetic frequency through focused intent, acts of self-love, and a deliberate turning away from the narratives of limitation and fear, we create a resonance that is incompatible with the moon's controlling frequencies. Ultimately, breaking the lunar seal is an act of spiritual reclamation. It is the conscious decision to remember our true nature, to step out of the cyclical harvest, and to re-establish our direct, sovereign connection to the infinite. It is the ultimate act of waking up from the dream. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.